The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. reiterates that the International Criminal Court or ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines. House Speaker Martin Romualdez breaks his silence on troubling reports of bribery aimed at influencing citizens to sign the petition for the People's Initiative campaign. A Senate panel takes steps to summon religious group Apollo Quiboloy as it initiates an investigation into the alleged abuses within his group. And Israeli forces intensify their offensive in Gaza, attacking hospitals and resulting in the wounded being cut off from much-needed trauma care. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, January 23, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harding Delgado. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. maintains an unchanged stance on the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court or ICC and its investigation into the war on drugs during the previous administration. Meanwhile, President Marcos has announced a decision to defer the scrutiny of signatures related to the proposed People's Initiative for amending the Constitution. This process will be handed over to the Commission on Elections. Nelma Ribohok details why.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. reiterated that the International Criminal Court or ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines. He emphasized that the government will not cooperate with the ICC's investigation into the war on drugs during the previous administration. The president made these remarks in response to reports suggesting that ICC representatives are in the country and whether the government allowed them to entry.
Let me say this for the 100th time. I do not recognize the jurisdiction of ICC in the Philippines. I consider it as a threat to our sovereignty. Therefore, the Philippine government will not lift a finger to help any investigation that the ICC conducts.
Furthermore, when asked about the ICC reaching out to government agencies, including police personnel and local governments, President Marcos stated that he has directed them not to cooperate with the representatives of the international body.
However, as ordinary people, they can come and visit the Philippines. Pero hindi kami tutulong sa kanila. In fact, binabantayan namin sila, making sure that hindi sila that they do not come into contact with any agency of government. And if they are contacting agencies of government, na sasabihin yung whatever, policeman, local government, sabihin wag niyong sasagutin. Yun ang sagot natin, that we do not recognize your jurisdiction, therefore we will not assist in any way, shape, or form any of the investigations that the ICC is doing here in the Philippines.
Meanwhile, PBBM said signatures in the People's Initiative that had been obtained in exchange for money should be invalidated by the Commission on Elections.
We'll just have to let COMELEC do their job, do their work, and to validate the signatures. And if there's a suspicion that may ganun nga, hindi mabibilang yung mga signature na yun.
President Marcos, addressing reports of signature buying, dismissed such claims. However, he acknowledged some reports suggesting promises of benefits to entice voters to sign. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, has reiterated that there is no legal duty for the Philippines to comply or cooperate with the International Criminal Court, or ICC, following its withdrawal in 2019. The DOJ maintains that the Philippines is allegedly willing and able to investigate crimes being committed within its territory. Furthermore, the DOJ emphasized that any presence of international bodies, such as the ICC, in the country must adhere to the Constitution and relevant laws. It has received permission from different agencies, including the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, and the DOJ. As of now, there is no alleged official communication or confirmation regarding the presence of the ICC in the country. House Speaker Martin Romualdez is strongly denouncing allegations of bribery linked to the People's Initiative campaign aimed at amending the 1987 Constitution. Meanwhile, House Deputy Majority Leader Manuel Jose Dalipe is expressing serious concerns amid reports that several senators are showing a lack of interest in advancing the resolution of both houses. Number 6. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez is breaking his silence on troubling reports of bribery aimed at influencing citizens to sign the petition for the People's Initiative campaign, which seeks to amend the 1987 Constitution. In a statement, Romualdez acknowledged that if these allegations are true, they would violate the initiative's spirit of honest and voluntary participation, potentially eroding the foundations of our democratic principles. He went on to reiterate that the House does not endorse or sanction direct participation by its members in signature gathering, emphasizing the importance of maintaining the process's integrity and independence. Meanwhile, House Majority Leader Manuel Jose Dalipe is expressing serious concerns in response to reports indicating waning interest among many senators regarding the push for resolution of both houses. Number 6. This resolution aims at convening a constitutional assembly to amend the 1987 Constitution. Representative Dalipe countered claims grounded in allegations linking the House leadership to the People's Initiative as baseless. He emphasized that these accusations cast a shadow over the collaborative efforts required for meaningful constitutional reforms. In conclusion, Dalipe pointed out that over the past 36 years, the Senate has consistently blocked efforts to amend the outdated 1987 Constitution, a situation he suggests has deprived Filipinos of a better country. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has emphatically stated that only the Supreme Court has the authority to halt them from receiving signature forms related to the People's Initiative. Dante Amento tells us why.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, argued that they are duty-bound to receive the signature forms on People's Initiative for the proposed amendments to the Constitution. 184 districts already submitted to the Commission.
Sapagkat no choice naman po ang COMELEC at this point. Number 1, ministerial duty po namin yan.
COMELEC spokesman Director Janrex Laudianco explained certain rules were promulgated for this purpose.
Mali po na hindi namin dapat tanggapin. Kasi po nakasaad sa Resolution 10650 na ang first part talaga na gagawin ng COMELEC ay tanggapin yung signature pages.
Laudianco further said only the intervention of the High Tribunal or the Supreme Court can stop them from accepting those signature pages or forms through an issuance of a temporary restraining order or TRO. However, there is no alleged justiciable issue for the moment for the court to act.
Meron na bang ginagawa ang COMELEC? Meron na bang pronouncement ang COMELEC? Meron na ba kaming ruling para i-question sa Supreme Court? Wala pa. Wala pa pong ruling ang COMELEC. In fact, wala pa kaming jurisdiction. Hindi pa po namin natatanggap ang petition. Ang tanging ginagawa po namin ay magbilang lamang ng pirma at mag-issue ng certification.
In a statement yesterday, January 22, election lawyer Attorney Romulo Macalintal said without the formal petition filed before the COMELEC, there is no valid reason to receive the signature sheets. Meanwhile, the poll body assures that there is always a proper venue for complaints over some issues on the People's Initiative. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The standing Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam, Nguyen Minh Vu, and the Ambassador of Vietnam to the Philippines, Dr. Lai Thai Binh, visited the Philippine Coast Guard office in Manila. During the meeting between senior officials of the PCG and the Vietnamese delegation, discussions revolved around a proposed memorandum of understanding. This aims to strengthen the strategic partnership and cooperation between the Philippine Coast Guard and the Vietnam Coast Guard, working towards preserving, promoting, and protecting mutual interests in the Southeast Asian region. The Philippine Coast Guard also conducted a briefing with the Vietnam delegation, providing insights into current cooperation efforts related to the country and maritime security in the West Philippine Sea.
And for the news abroad, in the bloodiest fighting in Gaza this January, Israeli forces have advanced deep into western Khan Yunis, according to reports from Palestinian officials on Monday, January 22. Israeli troops stormed Al-Khair Hospital and simultaneously imposed a siege on Al-Amar Hospital. This has resulted in the wounded being cut off from much-needed trauma care. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
Israeli forces have entered the Al-Mawasi district near the Mediterranean coast, west of Khan Yunis, marking a significant development. During the operation, medical staff were reportedly arrested. According to the Health Ministry spokesperson Ashraf Al-Qidra, the toll has been devastating, with at least 50 casualties overnight in Khan Yunis. Dozens are reported dead and wounded beyond the reach of rescuers. In addition to the assault on Al-Khair Hospital, tanks have surrounded another critical medical facility in Khan Yunis, Al-Amar, which also serves as the headquarters of the Palestinian Red Crescent. Contact with the staff has been lost, prompting heightened alarm among humanitarian organizations. Tomaso Delia Longa, spokesperson for the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, has expressed serious apprehension about the situation surrounding the hospitals. Israel contends that Hamas fighters operate in and around the hospitals, an assertion vehemently denied by Hamas and medical staff. Local residents describe the bombardment from air, land, and sea as the most severe in southern Gaza since the conflict's onset in October. As the conflict extends into the last pockets of the enclave, the civilian toll continues to rise. Gaza health authorities report at least 25,295 Gazans killed since October 7. The majority of Gaza's 2.3 million residents are now confined to Rafah, residing in public buildings and makeshift camps. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
All senators expressed its strong opposition to the controversial People's Initiative for Charter Change, allegedly being peddled by several House members. The 24 lawmakers signed a manifesto rejecting the initiative that proposes the Senate and the House of Representatives to vote jointly in amending the Constitution. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri says the goal of the so-called People's Initiative is to eliminate the Senate to make it easier to amend the Charter. Should the two chambers of Congress vote as one, he says this will leave the Senate powerless to stop radical proposals, such as foreign ownership of the country's lands and a no-election scenario in 2025 or even in 2028. Zubiri stresses that the Senate will not allow itself to be silenced as it stands as a defender of democracy.
We stand by our institution, not for our own personal benefit or gain, but for the systems of checks and balances and democracy as a whole. We must stand fast these attacks on our democratic principles. Sumabuhay ang Senado.
For his part, Senate Majority Leader Joel Villanueva appeals to his friends in the lower house to stop pushing for the so-called People's Initiative, adding that majority of senators are no longer interested in the resolution seeking to amend certain economic provisions of the Constitution. Based on the most recent Tugon ng Masa survey conducted by Octa Research from December 10 to 14, 2023, the sentiments of 1,200 respondents shed light on public opinion regarding the West Philippine Sea issue and the actions the Marcos administration should take. An overwhelming 72% of respondents believe that the government should address the West Philippine Sea issue through military action, such as expanding naval patrols and increasing the presence of government troops in the area. This marks a 7-point increase compared to the previous survey in October on the same questions.
What's distinct about the report is that for the first time, the focus on military action overtakes diplomacy in terms of priority. So it has now become priority number one. Kailangan lang iklaro na ang ibig sabihin sa survey ng military action ay hindi gigirahin. Kung hindi, i-expand yung ating naval patrols din sa lugar na ginagawa na natin at i-expand yung troop presence na plano naman ng ating gobyernong gawin.
Meanwhile, 70% of Filipinos favor resolving the issue through diplomacy or peaceful means. Additionally, 66% of respondents believe that the modernization of the country's armed forces should be strengthened and advanced. In terms of international collaboration, 42% of Filipinos support the joint military patrol of the Philippines with allied countries. Professor Ranjit Rai of Octa Research attributes the increased belief in military action to continuous public exposure to events in the West Philippine Sea, including harassment of Filipino fishermen and government troops.
Maraming mga rason pa dahil dyan. Isa na dyan, syempre, of course, yung media coverage ng mga pangyayari sa West Philippine Sea, yung harassment na experience na atin mga fishermen at saka mga maritime, coast guard personnel dyan. And siguro nag-iba yung pananaw ng mga kababayan natin tungkol sa issue. At mas marami nang mas may alam tungkol sa issue na to dahil nga sa media coverage dito. Ang importanteng ma-appreciate dito, nagbabago na yung perception. Kaya kailangan may gawin para ma-reduce yung tension sa lugar. Kasi nagbabago na ang perception ng tao tungkol dito. And people want more assertive. They want to be more assertive as far as, majority of the Filipinos want to be more assertive as far as the WPS is concerned.
A Senate panel moves to summon religious leader Apollo Quiboloy as it opens its investigation into the alleged abuses to his group members. This report will tell us why. Several former members of Apollo Quiboloy's religious group Kingdom of Jesus Christ, or KJC, testified before the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality on the alleged abuses of the religious leader. One of them is alias Amanda, who claims that she was sexually abused by Quiboloy when she was just 17 years old.
Kinausap ako ni Miss Roy. Sabi niya, parte daw ng trabaho ng Ministry of the Pastorals na imasahe si Quiboloy. Sabi niya, special privilege daw ito dahil hindi naman daw lahat nahawakan at nakakalapit sa anak ng Diyos. Tinanggal din niya ang pajama pants at brief niya na nanginginig na ang katawan ko sa takot at nakatitig lang ako sa kisame. Pinipigilan ko na lang ang mga luha ko dahil sobra akong nagulat at walang magawa. Pagkatapos ay tuluyan na akong pinagsamantala ni Apollo Quiboloy. Ang masasabi ko lang, sobrang traumatic ng pinagdaanan ko sa loob ng KJC compound. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin ako nakaka-recover.
The committee also presented the testimonies of 2 Ukrainian nationals who are former members of the KJC.
One time at night, he came to me, to my room, to have a sex. And I was crying. I said that I don't want. And he got mad at me. He said like, you're going to hell because of that.
He said massage here, and I said, oh my God, okay. And I massage. And after that, little by little, he just turned to me and he removed my clothes. And I even can, because I was very shocked. I was like, I cannot explain because I was nervous. He just removed my clothes and have sex with me.
While alias Jerome also testifies to the alleged forced labor and physical abuse that he had to endure as a full-time member in the group when he was just a minor.
Sinabi niya sa amin bilang parusa dapat
naming iuntog ang mga ulo namin sa pader at suntukin ang semento hanggang dumugo ang ulo at kamay namin. Dapat din daw namin lagyan ng sila sa mga sili sa mata at bibig at ang ari namin. Doon ko naisip na pumala sa Kingdom of Jesus Christ kasi pinatawag na kami. Dapat kasi buong pagkatao namin ialay namin kay pastor. Once na mag full time ka, mag fill up ka, bawal ka na po tumawag sa mga pamilya niyo.
Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros, who chairs the Senate panel, orders to issue a subpoena for Quiboloy to personally attend the inquiry and answer the allegations himself. This after Quiboloy did not appear before the committee despite 2 invitations sent to him. The religious leader only sent a letter addressed to Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri and instead sent a legal counsel to represent him in the Senate inquiry. The Bureau of Immigration confirms that Quiboloy is still in the country.
Kayo, pastor, ang dapat humarap sa susunod na pagdinig. Hindi po kayo anak ng Diyos na exempt sa otoridad ng Estado.
Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God. In a significant move to safeguard both its citizens and the global environment, the House of Representatives has approved on third and final reading a bill prohibiting chemical weapons. Specifically, this pertains to House Bill number 9751, an act that aims to prohibit the development, production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons. This legislative action underscores the Philippines' commitment under the Chemical Weapons Convention. The bill also designates the Anti-Terrorism Council as the Philippine National Authority on the Chemical Weapons Convention, with the Executive Secretary set to lead this effort. The Department of Migrant Workers continues to spearhead the country's campaign against bogus recruitment agencies. In recent developments, the GMW took action by closing a travel agency in Quezon City, citing alleged participation in illegal recruitment. However, the company in question strongly denied these accusations. Jed Neresina details why.
In a recent development a month and a half after the start of the investigation, the Department of Migrant Workers has taken action against allegations of illegal recruitment. The DMW has decided to close a travel agency in Quezon City.
Nandito tayo ngayon dahil merong illegal recruitment na batay sa ating surveillance teams at sa complainants ay sinagawa na naman ng isang walang lisensya mula sa DMW.
According to the DMW surveillance team, the Legal Connect Travel Services Agency was not authorized to recruit overseas Filipino workers or OFWs for deployment. Allegations suggest that individuals were hired and sent to Italy to work as caregivers and in agriculture, while others were dispatched to Malta for employment in hotels. Furthermore, it is reported that the agency demanded placement fees ranging from 200,000 to 380,000 pesos.
Madalas naman natin sabihin, kahit natuloy man o hindi, basta't nag-recruit na walang lisensya, illegal recruitment na yan na sang-ayon sa batas. Kaya pinaiiral natin ngayon ang batas.
However, Attorney Joe Vincent Aguila, the company's lawyer, has strongly denied these allegations. He asserted that his client is licensed and prepared to address any accusations of infringement against them. Aguila emphasized that their contractor is from another country and they are operating in compliance with their laws.
But the truth and in fact, the contract was entered into not in the Philippines, but in a different country with the proper license. And we have license here as well. So sasagutin namin.
Despite the closure, the DMW has expressed its readiness to engage with the closed agency to help resolve the matter. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
A recent social weather station survey indicates an increase in Filipino families experiencing involuntary hunger. In response, the Department of Social Welfare and Development has pledged to intensify its efforts and collaborate with agency partners to address the pressing issue of hunger in the country. Gladys Tuabi will tell us why.
The result of the recent Social Weather Stations or SWS survey says the number of Filipino families which experience involuntary hunger increased to 12.6%, higher than the 9.8% recorded last September 2023. Same goes for the moderate hunger in the country, which recorded 11.2%, higher than 8.4%. There is also an increase in severe hunger, which now reached to 1.4%. The said survey was done last December 8 to December 11 of 2023 to 1,200 respondents nationwide. The family of Maria, for instance, has experienced eating only twice a day, as her earnings from selling merienda is enough to pay for bills and needs in their household, given rise in prices of goods.
Kulang pa rin talaga kasi may nag-aaral sa bahay, sa kuryente. Pero sa awan ng Diyos, nairaraos namin. Nararanasan din namin yun yung 2 beses lang. Nung wala kaming ganito, nung wala rin kaming trabaho, sobrang hirap. Sana kaming mahihirap na kagaya namin mapansin nyo, matulungan nyo yung kahit sa isang buwan man lang may parang sustento gano'n na pambili ng bigas. Kasi minsan mawawalan ka talaga mawawalan ka talaga ng pera. Kaya napakalaking tulong nun.
In connection to this, the Department of Social Welfare and Development recognizes the issue of addressing hunger in the country, emphasizing the importance of implementing innovative strategies against involuntary hunger. October 12, 2023, Executive Order No. 44 was issued by Malacanang, establishing Walang Gutom 2027 Food Stamp Program as a flagship program of the Marcos administration. The full pilot implementation of Food Stamp Program is set this 2024 to fight involuntary hunger in the country. DSWD is hopeful that through this program, the country will achieve food security for a zero-hunger Philippines. Gladys Tuabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for other global news, in a twist to the plans of British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, a motion supported by Parliament has resulted in delay to his proposed deportation of asylum seekers to Rwanda. The motion aims to postpone a treaty designed to overcome a legal block surrounding the controversial plan. The Prime Minister's proposal involves transporting asylum seekers to arrive at England's southern coast in the inflatable boats to Rwanda, with the first flights scheduled to take place in the coming months. Despite the plan not yet being implemented and facing legal challenges, Britain felt compelled to sign treaty with Rwanda to address concerns about safety and secure the approval of the legislation from Parliament. Last week, the Rwanda legislation gained backing from the House of Commons. However, the motion encountered opposition, with the House of Lords voting in favor with 214 votes against 171. In New Hampshire, Attorney General John Formella has confirmed that his office is actively investigating reports of fake robocalls mimicking President Joe Biden. The recorded messages appearing to be an illegal attempt aimed to discourage voting in the state's Republican presidential primary contest. May Biandog tells us why.
A presidential primary election is being held in New Hampshire, United States, Tuesday, January 23, 2024. However, a voice mimicking United States President Joe Biden tells listeners in the state of New Hampshire that their votes will make a difference in the November election, not today. The state's Attorney General John Formella told voters to disregard the contents of the message entirely, while his office is conducting investigations into the matter. The calls showed up to recipients as coming from the personal cell phone of Kathy Sullivan, a former state Democratic Party chair. The Biden write-in campaign supporter has issued a complaint to the Attorney General. A 73-year-old Democrat, on the other hand, said she was appalled but not surprised that artificial intelligence or AI-generated fake robocalls are spreading in her state. President Biden is not campaigning in New Hampshire and his name will not appear on the ballot. However, his allies are running a write-in, which means adding his name to the ballot and voting for him. The attempt at voter suppression using AI technology is one example of how 2024 could be a year of unprecedented election disinformation globally. Biden's campaign manager, Julie Chavez Rodriguez, states that they are actively discussing additional actions to take immediately. Meanwhile, Hani Farid, a digital forensics expert at University of California, Berkeley, aired concerns that generative AI will be weaponized in the upcoming election. Mavian Dog, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Kathy Navarro, live from Qatar. Good evening.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
We will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 10, it says, "Delight is not seemingly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes." And those are the reasons behind the news, January 23, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Harleen Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.